Sabaki, a dynamic method of meeting an attack by combining defense and offense into one. To the left and out of the direction of attack. To the right and out of the direction of attack. Pivoting on the right foot with the left foot retreating. Pivoting on the left foot with the right foot retreating. Sabaki is the effective use of these four fundamental circular movements to limit exposure to frontal attack. This is the foundation of Ashihara karate. The first sabaki is a defense against a straight punch or kick. Sabaki allows the defender to enter the blind spot in the attacker's position. No matter the distance or sabaki technique being employed, this is essential. Once the defender develops this flaw in the attacker's defense, he can take maximum advantage of his position. In Ashihara karate, the practitioner must be aware of three types of distances: short, middle, and long, and the sabaki which applies to each. In short-distance fighting, the defender moves inside the attacker's impact zone. The defender then effectively uses a knee block to simultaneously defend and counter before his opponent can develop power and momentum. The result is the defender will find himself in an excellent position to employ infighting strikes. Kata or form is a pattern of the basic sabaki movements which provide the practitioner with the option to perfect his techniques without the aid of a partner. The variety of combinations which can be formed are endless. Let's listen to Master Ashihara's checkpoints on short distances.
The orthodox procedure to meet a head-on attack is to attack from the left. Now, let's practice. If you're late, kick right away to recover the initiative. When the blocked leg is drawn back, kick from the right and follow with a counter. Let's try once again. Now, in this case, kick immediately. In an actual fight, make sure to use both right and left kicks. If the opponent's foot comes in front as it kicks, extend your hand here to hit from this side. Assuming that he will try to hit your hand, press his arm with this hand and follow it with the other hand. In actuality, this will be a punch to the face, but in practice, a roundhouse block is executed to avoid injury. Once inside your opponent's guard, take advantage of your momentum. Kick and finish on the left side where your weight is balanced. If you find you need to close the distance after you block, make sure to knee kick as you step in. This maneuver is called a slide or jump.
Sabaki against a punch. Counter high kick. Upper block. Low block. And right forward outside step. Again, we can see the endless possibilities of variations based on these fundamentals. Sabaki can lead the movements of the attacker.
With Sabaki, you can turn your attacker's power and momentum to your advantage. In the case of a front kick, there are 3 lines of counterattack available, which will turn the tables on your opponent. Execute a low block with your left hand, drive his kick to the left in order to prepare for your counter kick, and, if you intend to throw him, block along your body. In the case of punching him, lead him into the center and then deliver the punch. When you parry a punch with a right low block, you will find your opponent's face in range and in line with your left hand. To avoid injury during practice, the Ashihara school uses a round block. However, a right punch or elbow strike is also possible.
It is important to take advantage of any weak point in your opponent's stance.
This stance is extremely strong against a frontal attack, but vulnerable from the rear. In order to further exploit this weakness, pull upwards at a 45-degree angle.
When it comes to infighting, the elbow strike is one of the most devastating weapons in the karate practitioner's arsenal. In this unique defense-counter style of self-defense, the key is good footwork. The elbow moves in a small circle when blocking, and is followed by a sweeping movement of the right arm in a rising and falling arc, with the end result of your opponent on ground. The finish is a heel stomp to the head. Weaving allows the defender to take a position behind the attacker. Here, the defender weaves to avoid a left punch, then slips in back of the opponent where he's in a position to throw him with his upper body. Right hook counter techniques. Slide in counter.
Draw your opponent closer and move the upper part of your body like this. Hold him firm and draw him closer to yourself. Decide the optimum position to avoid his attack and at the same time to be able to launch your counter.
The rolling throw and backward throw to lay the groundwork for a counter are excellent examples of sabaki in action. We can see how grabbing and pulling an opponent into a kick can greatly multiply the overall damage to the attacker. This movement is training for a continuous flow of movement from knee block to knee kick. Of course, the knee kick can be combined with other kicking techniques to create a wide variety of combinations. The circle symbolizes the Ashihara practitioner's zone of control. It is defined by 4 circular movements described earlier and enclosed by a large circle drawn with the body at its center. This is the concept that gave birth to the Ashihara approach to self-defense, and its graphic representation has been adopted as their symbol. Another fundamental concept of Ashihara karate is exploiting the natural movements of man. Even in the simple action of walking, we can see the natural power inherent in every human being. Ashihara karate was created to employ this power more smoothly, effectively, and with greater strength to produce power and flexibility. Power can be stored by drawing your heel to your hip to create tension. Even more power is possible by employing a half step before executing the kick. Kicks must employ the spring in the supporting leg and the twisting of the waist. As soon as the kicking foot returns to the ground, the next kick is on its way. In this fashion, kicks may be delivered in a series as if walking. Middle distance is the most effective distance for any punch or kick. The opening counters are stopping, body stopping, joint kick, hook kick, The more the opponent goes on the offensive, the more visible his weaknesses become. The counter should focus on the areas of least movement or the supporting structure. Ashihara attacks these cracks in the attacker's position. The defender needs only limited power to knock down his opponent. This is Ashihara karate.
Good. When you step back as much as you can, start kicking from here, and then follow this with another kick. In this intermediate distance, you can apply many kinds of kicks. Next, after employing a stopping technique, enter the next position right away and execute a high kick or medium high kick. If your timing is a little late, you can make up the lost time by sweeping the opponent's front supporting leg. Don't lock your knee. Remember to keep your knee bent like this. At the moment he begins his kick, apply a stopping technique to his upper inner thigh where motion is at a minimum. In the case of high kicks, the stopping technique is directed at his supporting leg. In the stopping technique, the knee moves in a circular motion. When practicing this technique, be sure to use the arch of the foot to avoid injuries. But in actual fighting situation, the power of the strike is focused on the heel. This technique will enable even a smaller man to stop a much larger one. However, remember to avoid extending the leg, as the full impact of the opponent's kick will be directly transferred to your stance, forcing you back. You must be careful not to lose your balance. Let's see that once again. That's right. As you extend your leg, kick. Then the next move. Again, kick downward and follow it with an effective counter.
By breaking the attacker's balance, low kicks become not only more applicable, but can be delivered with effectiveness. By employing mitts in training, the practitioner can grasp distances and the impact of kicks. Correct balance and form are essential to the development of speed and power. The backward throw requires getting behind opponent. The rolling throw takes advantage of the opponent's forward momentum. The combination of small steps requiring little strength leads to the literal downfall of the attacker. The timing of the stopping technique must correspond to the moment the attack begins, just when the attacker's forward leg motion has yet to develop momentum. It must also focus on the point of least movement. To counter a left kick, use a hook kick to take him down. Here we can see how individuals can train in the correct application of different sabaki. Iwatahama, Shikoku, a small village on the smallest of the 4 main islands of Japan. It was here that the master and his followers first met and laid down the foundation of this dynamic new style of karate. It is here they still meet on occasion, never failing to visit a small restaurant where they can share a good meal and some memories of their early struggles. Noriyoshi Nakamoto, chief instructor, lives at a training club on the beach of Iwatahama. It is a place where the potential of both he and Ashihara karate were discovered. His duties now include providing leadership for members of this club. Ninomiya is the head instructor of the Ashihara headquarters in Denver, Colorado, in the U.S. Having gained recognition in Japan as the All-Japan champion, his next challenge is to introduce Ashihara Karate to the world. This demonstration of the power of Ninomiya's kicks from a distance of only 50 centimeters illustrates his superb skill. Having returned to Japan, his home after a long absence, he feels the eyes of his students watching his every move and knows that he, as their model, must strive to do his utmost. Master Ashihara, why did you choose this particular location to train?
Open spaces or enclosed areas. One must learn to defend himself under all circumstances. This time we're working under outdoor conditions. Karate should not be limited to the wooden floors of the dojo.
I see.
We're working to make karate a part of our everyday lives. Ashihara Karate has been developed for both group practice and for individual practice. It's designed for the practitioner who can devote every minute of every day to training, and for the practitioner with limited time. Ashihara Karate is for everybody.
Ashihara Karate Headquarters, Mecca to young karate enthusiasts from all over the country. In his drive to develop new skills and techniques, which he can share with his fellow instructors and students, Hideyuki Ashihara isolates himself and directs all of his energy toward achieving the answer.
Actually, the key to the roundhouse block is proper wrist work, like this, and pow! A kick does not follow the block as a separate action. No, blocking is carried out with the intention of executing a kick. The first rule is to return the hips to a ready position as quickly as possible.
I go! I go!
Long-distance sabaki, as in short and middle-distance sabaki, relies heavily on footwork. The opponent's attack can be avoided by stepping back. By using combinations of insteps, side steps, cross steps, linked with back steps, counterattacks can be mounted.
Now, I'll go over long-distance combinations. If the distance to be covered is long, you can dodge your opponent's kick by stepping back instead of blocking it with your hand or foot. Or, you may kick from a position to his side by moving your front leg in response to his kick. Also, to counter a roundhouse kick, dodge and move in to counter as soon as his kicking leg lands. In defending against a roundhouse kick from the left, where there is a great deal of distance between you and your opponent, judge the distance and kick. The distance can be reduced once you grasp the opponent's timing. Let's try again. Try to kick through your target.
The time to perform this combination was only 25 seconds, but of course, training begins at a much slower pace. Here we see some long-distance sabaki variations. In long-distance fighting, a stopping technique is used against the opponent's landing foot. The practitioner must learn to move softly. This softness allows him to be more flexible to meet whatever situation the opponent presents him with. From smooth movements, powerful and rhythmical attacks can be launched. The soft overcomes the hard. Children move with softness naturally. It's only through our own efforts we can recover these natural skills which have deteriorated and fallen into disuse. Sabaki is not power, but rhythm, speed, and timing.
もっと立ち方きちっとで腰の要が強くなるからね。これは投げる時に使う立ち方ですから。それで下半身を強くする。はい、ゴーゴー。はい、待って。よし。よし。はい。いいさ。はい、待って。よし。ゴー。よいしょ。
Always our greatest enemy is the self. To challenge yourself is to improve yourself. This is Ashihara Karate.
真に武をもって人を罰するは武の意にあらず、その心と知れ。これが芦原空手の求めるところです。芦原空手は24年の歴史を持ちませんが、気脈の本流となるところをたどれば実に1000年にもなります。日本の土壌で永遠と培われた空手の伝統を凝縮し、新しく作り上げたのが